Another episode of Convos with KEEGS. I believe this is episode 22, I want to say. Ripping them. Very special guest today. You might have heard him on one of the Bills Boys podcast, Mr. Father Tyler.
Okay.
Mr. Father Tyler Baker.
What an intro.
Yep.
Thanks for having me.
Of course,
Glad
man.
to be here.
Dude,
just one-on-one.
It is different. This is going to be more like formal interview style. We both look like we're just getting out of the gym.
Yep.
Did you actually just get out of the gym?
Well, I worked this morning, but I'm actually probably going to the gym after this.
Nice. Yay?
Probably. Unless I get too excited about the Bills game. What?
Yay?
No, I think I'm going to go to a Sporta.
Oh, gotcha.
Got to switch it up every once in a while.
Yeah.
Especially I already spent 6 hours there today. So.
Eddie.
Yeah.
Try your best not to rock in the chair because it'll go like...
Gotcha. Such a comfy chair.
I know, man. You know, in some other podcasts that I watch and like I'll kind of learn what they do, and a lot of them say they'll give the guests like very uncomfortable chairs to keep their posture up.
Wow.
So they don't like
this
fall
chair
back.
Definitely does not do that.
I know. It's the complete opposite.
Yeah.
Complete opposite. Well, cheers.
Cheers.
Today is Monday Night Football, and the Bills are playing their first home game against Tennessee. But we'll talk about that in Bills Boys tomorrow.
I'll have a lot to talk about, I'm sure.
So let's jump right into it. So you are a personal trainer. Mm-hmm. How long have you been a personal trainer?
So I got certified in September of 2019. So actually, like 3 years from like last week.
Holy shit, man.
Now, of course, there was pretty much two COVID years in the middle. So I'd say I have like a year and a half of like actual experience being a personal trainer.
I didn't even think about that.
Even though I've been, certified for over 3 years.
Yeah. I totally forget. Dude, I keep forgetting that like COVID happened.
I know. Like those 2 years, I feel like you did nothing, but they like flew by at the same time.
They really did, yeah. When you first started, so 2019, you were still in undergrad, correct?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm still in undergrad now. I've kind of taken like a couple breaks in between.
Gotcha. You didn't start off your major in personal training or like?
Well, it's exercise science.
Is it still exercise science?
Yeah.
Got you.
Yeah. Yep. Got
you. And
yeah, so I'm kind of still figuring all that out. COVID kind of screwed that up for me a lot.
Yeah.
Just with everything going online and stuff like that. But plan on finishing exactly when. Not quite sure, but
yeah. Could you do me a favor and pull that bar down? Like just pull the whole mic down, and then
I didn't want to break it by putting too much.
Is that not going to happen?
Just tighten.
I think so. It should. Technical difficulties. We apologize, guests. Not guests. Well, I do apologize to you, but listeners.
I can just hold it, kind of. There we go.
Right.
No, I'll just hold it.
You sure?
That's
you
fine.
can take it out if you want. Actually, you know what? Let's do that.
Yeah,
we'll do it together.
That's so much better, actually.
We'll do it together. Yeah. And you can rock that way now, too.
Huge, because it moves with me.
Yeah, and I'll just move these out of the way.
Okay, we're all good now. But look
at us. All right, we're good.
It only took 10 minutes. Exercise science, which obviously kind of goes hand in hand with the personal training. Like when I was taking the training class, but I wouldn't really call it a class. It was more like you just bought a textbook and basically you could just make your own timeline. Like there wasn't like a deadline. Yeah, there's like certain times you can take the exam.
Yeah.
But you could you could buy the textbook and take the test the next day. Or no, I think might have been like a 3 month
I see.
minimum.
Yeah.
I don't remember, honestly. It was a little while ago. But
yeah.
But it was, and you can take the test once for free. And if you fail it, then you have to pay for it again. But I passed the first time.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Low-key flexed.
But the point I was trying to make was like a lot of my college classes that I was even taking specifically at that time were a lot similar to the training class. Like I already took a lot of anatomy stuff, physiology stuff. So I wouldn't say I really studied very hard specifically for the training exam just because which I knew I didn't really have to based off of what I was already, going to school for. What
has been the hardest, like last night in the car we were talking about the brain stuff. Like, what's the hardest topic you've had to kind of learn about?
Yeah, I mean, memorizing all the brain stuff was definitely pretty difficult, but I'd say more in the field of like personal training. I'd say more of just like like prior to training someone new, you kind of, which I don't necessarily do all the time. It kind of depends on their fitness level. But it's kind of like pre-existing injuries type of things, and like basically just mentally, or I write stuff down on what like the limitations that they will have and stuff like that.
Gotcha.
You obviously have to base the training regime off of that.
Yeah.
And just like a lot of, which the training class was a lot of like what to do if there's an extreme muscle imbalance, or, you know, like one, you know, knee is a lot worse than the other knee. Like a lot of like stuff to do before you actually get into actually working out.
I see.
Which, in my opinion, is a little excessive. Like, I don't think you have to do, and like I said, I kind of base that off of like the person's age and like, you know, if they were an athlete, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, you have to do more of that stuff for some people than others.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I pretty much train everyone the same way, I would say. But like, obviously, the frequency and like intensity of the workouts changes based off of their goals, and also you kind of just have to cater the training to the client. Like some people really want me to push them very hard. Some people are just kind of there more for like accountability and just kind of a, not a way to pass the time, but like just to make it easier for them to go to the gym and just to not have to think about what to do.
Yeah.
And make them more comfortable too. Like it's intimidating, especially for some people if you don't know what to do. So
yeah, I have
kind of a camaraderie thing too.
Yeah. I mean, working out, especially lifting, is definitely easier with someone else. You know?
Yeah, for sure.
I have a bad knee. My right meniscus is fucked.
That's what I did. Got that done last August. Yeah.
You got the surgery for it?
Yeah, you can see the two little scars right there.
So I'm trying to avoid surgery.
Yeah, don't do it.
Don't do the surgery?
My knee's not any better.
Okay.
And I have half a meniscus.
Okay.
So I'll have arthritis in like 5 years probably.
Well, that actually, I'm glad you told me that, because
I mean, it depends on how bad it is. Like,
it's only bad when I run.
Okay, well then don't run.
Yeah.
Do you like the Stairmaster, or, you know, elliptical?
Ellipticals for cardio.
That's brutal. Yeah.
I mean, I don't lift anymore. I just go to yoga. But I was talking to my boxing coach because I want to start training again, and like I'm trying to figure out a way that I can get in that cardio for boxing without having to run, because like it just kills. Yeah. There's nothing I can do.
Which honestly, pretty similar to me. Like when I mean, I guess we can kind of get in my whole fitness journey a little bit, but like,
yeah, dude, let's rip that out.
Well, let me just off that point real quick. Yeah. Like I could run 2-3 miles right now.
Yeah.
Like right now, go outside and do it and be fine, like while it's going on. But I would literally wake up tomorrow and like literally get out of bed and just probably just collapse because I can't put any weight on my right knee.
Yeah.
Or ankle. I broke my ankle when I was younger too, which sucks because honestly, the only cardio I really like, I don't want to say enjoy, but like don't hate is probably running.
Really?
Especially like outside. I have kind of gotten into the Stairmaster, but I just kind of, you know, throw a Netflix show or something on because it's nice because the clock and everything's right in front of you, so you can just throw your phone
on the screen,
on the little shelf there and just kind of grind it out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that's obviously a lot. I mean, to be honest, if you ask like your doctor, they'll be like, running's actually like not good for you. Like it's good for your heart.
Yeah.
But it's just, I mean, if you think about it, it's just constant pounding on your ankles and knees. And, you know, like over time, it's obviously going to wear on them.
Mm-hmm. Running
up on the, you know, up at the high school on the rubber where there's actually a little bit of like support is a lot better than pavement. And like the treadmill even has like a shock absorption thing. But still, I mean. On
the track you're saying in the high school?
Yeah, because it has like, there's the track and then there's like that, I don't know if it's rubber or whatever the heck they put under it.
Yeah, the black shit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. This like speckled stuff.
Yeah. But yeah, let's dive into your whole fitness journey, because that's fucking crazy. I mean, actually, when did we meet?
It would have been like 7th or 8th grade, right?
Probably 7th, because we started skiing. You went on the ski things, right?
Yeah, that's true. So we were probably like 14.
Yeah, 13, 14.
Because my sister's in 7th grade and she's 12.
Damn, she's already in 7th grade. Side story. Actually, no, never mind.
Okay, moving on. Yeah, so I would say it probably started right around then. I would say more when I was 15.
In high school, yeah.
Yeah, it was between freshman and sophomore year was when like the big kind of weight loss happened.
Yeah.
Basically, like playing baseball, playing sports. I played sports, since I could walk pretty much, but I was almost 300 pounds, and I basically just got tired of like not being able to run the mile in gym class.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, obviously it's embarrassing, but it was never really about like what other people thought. It was more like just kind of like felt like crap, like didn't like how I looked, stuff like that. I also did have like some health issues with my kidneys. I was in the ICU for a little while. It was like super high blood pressure, and the doctor pretty much nicely said like this pretty much happened because you're just so overweight. Your body was just under constant stress all the time. So obviously that was like, I mean, I was like unconscious for, like 20 hours or something like that. Damn. So obviously that was, especially being pretty young at the time, that was pretty scary.
Yeah.
So I think that was really the last straw where I was like shit needs to change, and probably should be now. And then obviously like all that other stuff, like, being better, being more athletic, quicker, stuff like that. I knew I would never be like the fastest kid on the team by any means, but obviously like carrying around 100 extra pounds will not help you.
Yeah.
Like that. And it got more competitive. Like in high school, like there was, like I played first base and pitcher all up until high school, but like the first 2 years playing high school, I didn't really play. And I kind of knew like, you got to kind of separate yourself to an extent. So yeah, it started around then, and really what I did to lose weight, like I went from like probably 290, I think was like my peak, to like low 170s. It was like
holy shit.
It was a lot. I mean, it was over 100 pounds in probably a year and a half, which is very fast to lose that much weight.
Really?
I was lucky though, because like now after learning about the type of stuff, like that can obviously have some different health effects too, like negative stuff when you're losing that much weight so quickly, just because your body doesn't have time to adapt.
Really?
But because I was so young, and being a guy helps too, just with the level of testosterone we have in our body, you can adjust a little bit quicker. And I shouldn't say they're negative health effects. Like most of the health effects are going to be positive, obviously, that you're losing weight. But if it happens too quick, and basically it just comes down to I just really probably wasn't eating enough. I was still eating, but I probably just went from eating like 4,000 calories a day to like probably sub 2,000, which is a big difference.
Yeah.
I never really say I went on. We'll go to the diet first, but the diet never really changed per se. I wouldn't say I went on a diet. Like I said, I just basically probably just cut the calories I was eating in half.
Yeah.
Obviously, I was eating too many calories, and a lot of them were, I was get home from school and eat like, a big bowl of chips and stuff like that. Obviously, there's really no benefit to that. Like, too many salty snacks, stuff like that. But like I said, never really feel like I went on a diet. It was mainly a portion control thing. Like, I did substitute. Like, usually my family ordered, when we were all playing sports, me and my brother, we probably ate out or ordered out, 3 to 4 times a week, which is obviously a lot.
The schedule's so crazy.
Yeah, and obviously in Buffalo, like it's never going to be good stuff. It's usually fried food and a bunch of carbs. So, I did like instead of when we ordered Pasquale's, I would get a chicken Caesar salad opposed to pizza a lot of times.
Yeah.
Which obviously will help. Salad's basically all protein besides like the dressing. That can be, but having a good amount of Caesar dressing is obviously a lot better for you than like 3 pieces of pizza and 8 chicken wings and a bunch of blue cheese. So it's definitely a way better choice.
Yeah.
So like I said, never really went on a diet. Just really got the portion sizes under control. And the fitness aspect of it is really what I did was I was a member at Stat Fitness, and they just had like pretty much like one chest press, one like lat pull down machine, like a leg press, like pretty much just one of all like the basic machines, shoulder press.
No bench though. They had the Smith machine.
Just the Smith machine, so basically every other day I would go in there and pretty much just do like, it was so simple. Pretty much did like 3 sets of 12 on each machine. So just, pretty much go in a circle. Like literally if you just picture all machines in a circle, I would just like go one to the other, in order and do 3 sets on each. So I'd do that like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then on Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, I would run 2 miles.
Damn.
That's pretty much it. Like, and obviously coupling that with, the reduced portion sizes. I mean, I was probably like when I was doing this, I mean, which looking back on it wasn't great, like for mental health and stuff. I was pretty much weighing myself every morning. And like, if it wasn't going down, like I was like, morale was just not good.
Yeah.
But it was like, I mean, it was like a half a pound a day a lot of times, which is, like I said, probably not the healthiest. Like it's a little too fast, but I never really felt bad.
Yeah.
So was it really unhealthy? Who knows? But
yeah. And how, like on paper, like you said, you had a pretty simple formula, portion sizes, and you did the exercise and running, but the discipline of it is like, that's the hard part.
Well, and another reason this kind of worked is, like I said, it was pretty much between probably 15 to 17. We'll just say those 2 years.
Yeah.
Like wasn't like partying really, wasn't drinking obviously. So I feel like it was just a lot easier to be disciplined and everything like that. I think if I really tried, like, I mean, even now, like I, like really try to, obviously being into fitness and stuff too, like obviously try to control all that stuff. And I'm a big believer in like everything in moderation and balance, but like, it's definitely a lot harder now. Like, I mean, especially being in Buffalo, like Friday, it's like, like, what are you doing? Well, we're going out doing this and going out to dinner and, which is super fun and everything. But, I mean, by, like Monday morning, I wake up and I'm like, Jesus. Like,
I know what you mean.
Then you don't feel great till Wednesday and then it's Friday again.
I know, dude.
So yes, I think just kind of the timing of everything clicking in my brain and this diet and then the working out, like that all kind of happened honestly at like a perfect time. It was like, I don't know, I think my body was mature enough for the changes to happen and just mentally was in the right spot and just, easier to be disciplined. Like I said, wasn't partying a whole lot or really I didn't have a beer till I was 17, I think. So
wasn't much responsibility.
Then I was 180 pounds. So,
and I know we've talked about this before. What have you found like your sweet spot where you don't feel too light, but you don't feel too heavy?
Yeah. So actually, I mean, that's pretty much what you just said. Like whenever I start training somebody new, they always, kind of like, they phrase it differently sometimes, but they're basically like, what do you do? Like they obviously, that's, especially if they're very new to the gym and new to work out, they're like, what do you do to, be in pretty good shape? And I kind of go like, well, this is what works for me.
Yeah.
And obviously like, I'm like 225 now, 6 feet tall and a 23-year-old guy. So chances are it's not going to work for the 50-year-old girl that I'm with, but it's like, it still means something. And I still try to explain to them. But to your point, like, like I tell them like, I've kind of been in this, fitness world for a little bit now, like 5 or 6 years, like consistently. And like, I can just tell by the way I feel basically. And this is what I tell them. But the way I feel before I go to bed, I can tell if I'm in a caloric deficit or a surplus. Like if I'm a little bit hungry before I go to bed, I know I'm like, which I usually don't feel hungry unless I'm deliberately trying to cut down a little bit.
Yeah.
And if I'm trying to, bulk up, like even if I'm not like that hungry before I go to bed, I, put a protein shake down or a piece of, toast with peanut butter on it or something like that. Which I usually have a protein shake before bed every night. Just even if I'm not hungry, it's just, you're not going to like gain excess weight by, an extra 40 grams of whey protein. It's just, it can really only benefit you.
Yeah.
But I've never ever tracked my calories at all. But I can just basically tell by the way I feel if I'm going to basically be losing weight or attempting to gain weight. Yeah. And a lot of that comes from how I felt for those 2 years when I was losing all that weight. Like, yes, I was definitely hungry a lot of the time, but you do get used to it and you're like, and your stomach does shrink. Like it does get smaller.
Yeah.
You don't have to eat as much, and obviously it depends on what you're eating, but so.
Yeah. See, I've like for the longest time I was fucking, I don't know if you remember, but I was skinny.
Yeah. Like, and you could also like eat whatever the heck you wanted, and like you'd crush a bagel and ice cap at Tim Hortons.
Oh yeah. But I could not.
Not that that's like terrible, but like
No.
Kind of like TJ, you could just kind of eat McDonald's 3 meals a day, and you're also like 6'4", so
yeah,
that helps.
Trying to gain weight and maintaining weight that I've gained is literally the hardest thing in the fucking world for me.
It sucks because I've recently started to train a lot of younger guys for the most part that are usually when they come to me, they don't have any weightlifting experience, and they're basically tall and skinny. They're trying to put on muscle. That's the main reason they would come to me, and I can tell it's just, and I just tell them like, you just got to eat more. You can impress yourself with how much, especially if you're being consistent in the gym, like 5 weight training workouts a week. Like you could eat a lot and not be gaining weight, just kind of straight up, especially if you're a younger person and your metabolism is high to begin with, and then you start doing this stuff, and there is some, it's literally called beginner gains, where literally like once you start working out consistently, especially resistance training, like your metabolism spikes so much, and you can literally like you go on the bench press right now, you're doing 100 pounds, in 6 weeks you could be doing 200, just because it just accelerates super quick. It depends on your age and metabolism level, thyroid stuff, but for a lot of people that can happen. But if you're not eating enough, you're actually hindering yourself, to a certain extent. And it is hard for some people, for sure. Yeah.
I've I just remember like when I was actively trying to gain weight, and I would take a small amount of creatine, not too much. I had to eat literally, like when I was completely full, I would just keep shoving food in my mouth, dude.
Which is brutal. I mean, it makes me nauseous thinking about it. Right if you're not hungry, then food's not attractive to you.
Exactly.
No matter really what it is. Even if it's chicken wings.
And granted, I got stronger, but then when I just didn't want to feel like that anymore. So then, like right when I stopped lifting as much, all the weight just fucking gone. Yeah. So I think hopefully when my metabolism slows down, I'll be able to maintain weight.
It might be a benefit for you.
Might be able to maintain weight. But let's get back to the discipline of, you doing that for what? Almost 15 to 17. Was it 2 years?
Let's say it was 2 years of like losing weight. Yes.
And was it like discipline every fucking day kind of deal? Or?
I mean, to be honest, yeah, kind of. Like I was so like just mentally dialed in the zone, and like I said, I didn't have those like distractions kind of trying to like get me out of that mental zone. I would say I was still like once I did kind of start like partying a little bit in high school, it was first of all, it was only like one night a week and it was
in high school. It
was, 8 beers instead of 20.
Maybe one night
exactly.
a week. Yeah.
And even now, like that's one of my biggest like things that I try to avoid is those benders, because that's when it really just like piles on. Like right now, being younger still, like metabolism, like to that point, like your metabolism's still up, like you can handle, partying, a little bit.
Especially
and it not like completely ruin a week's worth of workouts, basically.
And you're still working out
correct.
Damn near every day.
Yeah. And like I said, like you gotta have those releases, you gotta let loose. Really like honestly what I started doing, like probably like, for the last 3 years or so, is I would work Saturday mornings, like pretty early. Yeah. So that would like naturally just like I'd be like I'd still like maybe go out on Friday, which I've really kind of stopped doing now that I'm a little bit older, I guess. But like even like last summer versus this summer, like even on Fridays when I knew I had to work in the morning, like I would still go out and probably have 8 drinks. Wouldn't like be hungover or anything the next day, but there's like really no not that there's no reason, like it's still fun to go out, but like not get hammered. Yeah, those are just extra calories that, in my opinion, like if you're gonna go out and party and be hungover, like it might as well be worth it and be a lot of fun. Yeah. And obviously, like you think about it, like you have 8 drinks on Friday, or you could have double. You could have 16 on Saturday, and
have more fun.
It'd still be the same. It'd still be the same amount of calories.
Oh yes. I see what you're saying.
And also, like of course, the diet comes with the bender too. Like, of course, you're not going to get up and, my breakfast is usually, egg whites, eggs, and, oatmeal. And that, takes 20 minutes to make. And like chances of me doing that after, being out till 3 a.m, like probably very slim. Like I'm probably going to go to Charlie's and order like an omelet that's all greasy and a bunch of home fries and stuff. So
yeah,
it's kind of just like, I don't know, a black hole for lack of better terms. And it just basically compounds on each other. And obviously if you can limit that to 1 day a week, it's obviously better than 2 nights. So
of course, yeah.
Less, like to think of it as half the damage. And
yep.
That way, like if you just go out one night, like I said a little bit ago, like you don't feel like crap until Wednesday. It just usually takes like a day. And then like even on, by this, like it's Monday at 2:00 right now, like you're feeling pretty good again.
Yeah.
You don't still, like your workout on Monday will still be solid.
Yeah.
You won't just be like, lifting half the weight that you should be and grinding through it.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like you're going to pass out.
I could talk about, like I'm very sensitive to alcohol.
Yeah.
So
like by how you feel the next day or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just like I for personal reasons I have to like really monitor.
Mm-hmm.
But mostly because of hangovers. Like I could have 6 drinks and if I don't drink water, like I will wake up feeling like absolute fucking death.
Hydration's huge. And that's usually what it comes down to. And that's what I really correlate to, like your performance in the gym.
Mm-hmm.
It's like obviously, and like I was just saying, like if you go on a bender, like obviously you're barely drinking any water for 48 hours.
Yeah. Which
obviously compounds on itself. So it basically takes an equal amount of time to like, even if you chug water all day on Sunday, you're still going to be dehydrated on Monday. Just because you were so dehydrated for so long, your muscles lose a lot of water and it takes time for them to absorb and back into your system. So yeah, the dehydration's huge and the sleep is also the biggest thing. My biggest, my biggest side effect to drinking is my sleep is just complete crap.
Yeah.
Like even if I sleep from, 2 a.m. to noon, like it feels like I slept for like 3 hours because you don't hit REM sleep and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So my eyes are closed and I'm resting, but I literally could, a lot of times I wake up and then 2 hours later I like have to go take a nap just because I'm so tired.
Yeah.
And that obviously plays into your energy levels in the gym as well. So
I mean, I don't know like the actual fact behind it, but I do know that getting 5 hours of sleep without alcohol in your system is just as good as getting like 12 hours of sleep.
Like you don't hit REM. So you're literally just, I forget what the surface level of sleep is, but like you're basically not in a deep sleep.
Yeah.
You never hit that just because your body's, doing whatever to get rid of all the toxins you put in it.
Yeah.
So it makes sense why you're super tired even if you slept for 12 hours.
Yeah. Dude, there's this fucking, I don't even know how to word this, but there's someone, this is like one of my biggest pet peeves is when, like I struggle with a lot of mental health issues, as you know. But depression being one of them, correlating to alcohol, and people will like come to me and be like, I'm depressed, blah, 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 blah. And I ask them, okay, like how much do you drink? They're like, oh, well, I go out probably 3 nights a week. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, okay, well, if you're depressed, you can't do that.
No, alcohol is a depressant. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like you have to give yourself a chance if you want to try and not be depressed.
Yeah.
You have to stop that shit.
It's not going to help you.
It's not going to help.
That's literally all you have to tell yourself.
I know.
It's not going to do anything good for you at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's fun in the moment. And obviously when you're drunk, you're happy. But and even like, I'm going through some stuff in my head right now too, just about the future and everything. Everybody is at our age. Mm-hmm. And yeah, like, you wake up on Sunday after partying and it's like all that stuff just that you kind of have in like the back of your mind, like throughout the week.
Yeah.
It just seems like it literally just comes to the forefront. You just literally you just feel like shit. And it's like, why did I do this to myself?